Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Indiana State Police Roadshow. I'm your host, Sergeant John Perrine, and yes, we are wearing our masks in the studio just out of an abundance of caution. So the Roadshow is brought to you by the Indiana State Police Alliance and Cops for Kids, a subsidiary of the State Police Alliance. For more information about our sponsor, you can visit them at www.indianasfinest.com. We want to thank our partners at WIBC and Network Indiana, Kyle Knezovich, Matt Hiblin, and Terry Stacy for all the incredible work they do to get us on the air across the state. And we appreciate their patience with us as we navigate through this COVID and trying to get these shows on the air. The man behind the camera putting us on YouTube each and every week, making us look better than we do in person, is my friend Tom Trial, and we thank him for his efforts. Today's show, we have a guest from the Indiana Department of Corrections, and we're going to talk a little bit about recruiting for DOC because you guys need people just like everybody else, but you guys are having a big recruiting push right now. And so Mr. Tyler Sheeter from the Indiana DOC, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
So tell us a little bit about what you do for the DOC, and then we'll get into kind of what you're looking for.
Well, more recently, I've been promoted to a recruitment retention coordinator. My main facility is actually Pendleton Correctional Facility, and our main goal is just to, for one, bring more staff in because more than anything, we're always going to need correctional officers. Our facilities operate 24/7, 365. We always need people there to help us operate our facilities, keep it going, keep the offenders safe, keep the general public safe as well. And on the retention side, I mean, to keep staff there, we need to keep them happy. Mm-hmm. And I go around, I talk to staff, see what their issues are, make sure they're doing all right, check in on them, see what kind of ideas they have, because people on the front lines are always going to be the ones that are going to give you your best ideas on how to keep them happy and keep them there.
Okay, well, so we'll start with some of the simple things. How old do you have to be to apply for a job at DOC?
Just 18 years old.
Okay.
A lot of the juvenile facilities like to be a little older, 21, so you're not kind of bumping heads with people your same age, potentially,
sure. Yeah.
But 18.
18 years old. Okay, and so when people are thinking about applying for a job for DOC, where do they go to find out what jobs are available, and how do they start that process?
Yeah, you can go to the state website at www.workforindiana.in.gov, and if you're looking for a correctional officer position, you can just, in the keyword slot, type in correctional officer, and it'll pop up every available correctional officer job in the state.
Okay, and you bring up a good point because you say if you're looking for a correctional job position, what other kinds of positions does DOC offer? I'm sure it's almost infinite, but
yeah,
what are some things that you guys are looking for?
Everything that's offered on the outside, we have on the inside. I mean, we have business administration positions, we have maintenance, we have recreation because we need rec leaders for the offenders. We have chapel services. We even actually do contractors through our medical, which is Wexford, and then our kitchen staff is Airmark. Yeah, and then throughout. So
if you're looking for a job, maybe you're not interested in being a correctional officer, but you're looking for a good career with good benefits. They go to the website, right, and they can see what's offered, what's available, what's open.
Yeah, we offer it through keyword and location. So if you're looking for a specific area, like my facility is Pendleton. There's actually 3 of them right there. You type in Pendleton, and it'll show you every job available in that area, not just correctional officer positions.
Nice. And how many facilities in the state are there to fill these positions? Do you know that number? I know there's a lot.
I believe it's 22 or 23.
Okay, so no matter where you are in the state of Indiana, you're close to a DOC job.
Oh, absolutely.
And so is that website you gave earlier, is it the same for statewide?
Yeah, every state position, to my knowledge.
Okay. And so you talk about the challenges, especially lately in the last 4 or 5 months that you've had with even just things like retention. And so what are some incentives or some programs that you guys are offering to maybe not only get new workers, but allow your workers to advance and promote and things like that?
Whenever COVID first came into play, we began offering all people that have to continue to work inside the facility an extra $1 an hour just to kind of help out because we recognize that we're all essential staff and that we have to be there every day. Mm-hmm. So every hour you put inside the facility, you gained an extra hour for that. So that was one thing that we did immediately. We've also been going around recognizing more staff for what they do, for being there. This week in particular, we're recognizing our veteran staff that served in the military, letting them know we know that you're here. We appreciate what you did in the past. We appreciate what we're doing right now. We actually also offer tuition reimbursement for college students if you want to continue college while you're with the department, because you don't need a degree to be in the department, just a high school diploma or GED.
Right. And so that's big. If, maybe you want to work your way through college, you come out of high school, you could get a job with the Department of Corrections and help foot that bill a little bit.
Yeah.
So that is a big thing. So talk a little bit about what does a corrections officer do? Maybe somebody says, I don't even know what they do. So walk us through a day of a corrections officer.
Yeah, that was definitely my first thing too when I came in. It wasn't my plan. I wanted to move to the bigger city, and I came across the Indiana Women's Prison because that's where I first started. And you go in, you have roll call, you find out where you're going to be posted for the day, because the good thing about the Department of Corrections and being an officer is that you're not going to do the same thing every day. It's always changing. So you go in and you just make sure everything is in order. I mean, that's your biggest thing, is holding the offenders accountable for their actions and making sure that at the end of the day, they know that what they do affects other people and can affect them in the long run as well. So hopefully at the end of it, because our biggest thing is producing productive citizens whenever they get out. So we want them to recognize that everything has a reaction.
Yeah, your communications director, David Burson, always says it's the Department of Corrections, not the Department of Incarceration. And there's a big difference between that.
Absolutely. We're not focused on punishing offenders for their actions. We're trying to correct that.
That's right. And so the corrections officers play such a vital role in that. And they inevitably build rapport and relationships with these offenders and kind of become mentors. And so that's got to be kind of a fulfilling feeling, knowing that you could be helping these people.
Yeah, you go in there, you know that not everybody wants help, but there are a few that they look up to you because they see that you're in a position of authority. You've gone through life, and you seem to be doing all right. So they look up to you. They ask you what you've done, what they can do better. They look to you for guidance, absolutely. And it does feel good because you have offenders that'll tell you that they appreciate what you've done for them, and that they won't be coming back. And sometimes that's because of you, and that's a good thing to feel.
And I find it intriguing, all of the things that are offered in the Department of Corrections. Something like woodworking. Well, you need people that know woodworking to teach woodworking, right? So if maybe you're out there and you're retired, or you're looking for a career and you love woodworking, that there could be a career in DOC in the wood shop.
Yeah, we have a wood shop at the Pendleton facilities. They also have they build chairs out there and furniture and tables and stuff as well. We have cosmetology departments too, and barber shops in the facilities where they can learn those kind of traits.
Right. And so that's what I think is neat, is people maybe looking for a career, they overlook the Department of Corrections because they, I don't really want to wear a uniform and carry handcuffs and be in the population. But there's so many more opportunities. Absolutely.
Whenever I went to school, they don't really tell you a whole lot about everything else the department has to offer. It's just correctional officer. But whenever I got in, I realized there's just a vast amount of opportunities, because whenever you get directly out of that role, they have people like your caseworkers that help with reentry, classifications. It's literally, like you said, endless. It's the opportunity to move upward once you get out of the correctional officer position is almost endless.
Yep. And so when you become a correction officer, they provide a uniform for you?
Yeah. Uniform from your boots to all the way to your hat. Okay. Everything is provided by the state.
So that's no money out of your pocket for your uniforms. You wear the same uniform every day, essentially. I mean, you have more than one, of course.
Yeah, you're issued 3.
And then what about like training? How difficult or how long is the training for a corrections officer?
Training is about 7 weeks long. You start off at your facility. Things have changed with COVID more recently than not, because our curriculum team had to focus on distance learning, because they didn't want to have to bring all those people together because of social distancing guidelines and stuff. So they worked on changing their in-person curriculum through a media platform, which has been fantastic because they've been able to continue training. Because like we talked about earlier, we've been hiring staff throughout this entire recession. I know I haven't had a single group yet that we haven't had to hire somebody because we always need staff.
Yeah. And it is interesting how creative people have gotten when you can't have face-to-face or in-person training or whatever. I've experienced some of that as well. And so, again, we want everybody to know that it's safe to apply for a job at the DOC, that you guys are working as hard as you can to ensure not only your safety, but the safety of the offenders and everybody who's in your facilities. So what's the website again, Tyler, where people can go to check into jobs with the Indiana Department of Corrections?
Yes, it's www.workforindiana.in.gov.
Okay, www.workforindiana.in.gov. You can check out all the available jobs that are with the Indiana Department of Corrections. And it's not just correction officer. We talked about that earlier, that there's a lot of different positions. Now, a lot of positions start as a correction officer, but there's a lot of room for advancement and promotion. I know you guys have, sergeants and lieutenants, and it goes through a regular promotion process.
Yeah. Correction officer is the best way to get your foot in the door. It gets you that experience. They look for that whenever they're promoting up to see what you have as far as facility work.
Mm-hmm. And there's facilities, again, all throughout the state. They all have available positions. I'm sure always hiring. You don't go through open and closed periods. It's an open door.
Yeah, definitely. There hasn't been a time where we're just like, no, we're not taking applicants right now. Somewhere in the state, some facility.
And tell me a little bit about what the hiring process is. You fill out an application, I'm sure, and then what happens?
Yeah, you fill out an application. Usually within about 2 to 3 days, you'll hear back from one of the hiring managers at that facility. They'll tell you a date to come in for your interview. All staff have to come in and take a pre-screening before they come in, get their temperature checked. So they're wearing a mask. All the interviewees have to come in and get their temperature checked and wear a mask in too. So we're trying to keep everybody as safe as possible throughout that time period.
Yeah, a lot of unknowns, but I think everybody's doing the absolute best they can, including the Department of Corrections, because, like you said, you guys don't have the luxury of shutting down or stopping, and you rely on your incredible employees to keep everything running, and they are. It's a thankless job. I do appreciate the fact that you said that you're starting to recognize, or you do recognize your employees, because although it is a thankless job and nobody's doing it for accolades, a simple thank you goes a long way. And so the fact that you recognize your employees and the things that they've done, and they're veterans or maybe things they've done at work, I really think that promotes a positive workplace.
Yeah, we've got a lot of positive feedback from staff regarding our stuff, because it wasn't just like our veterans. It's been all staff and everything they've done. Just let them know that, hey, our administration does recognize that you're here helping us out every single day, and we really do appreciate that.
Perfect. And we've been talking with Tyler Sheeter from the Indiana Department of Corrections. He's a recruiter for the Pendleton facility, but the Pendleton facility is not the only one hiring. Every facility in the state, you can go to www.workforindiana.in.gov, and you can search for corrections jobs or maintenance jobs or anything you can probably imagine. Is what you said, that you need business administrators and I'm sure there's finance people and there's accounting and all these things that people need. So you've been listening to the Indiana State Police Roadshow. We're talking with Indiana Department of Corrections recruiter Tyler Sheeter. Tyler, tell us real quick what has been the most rewarding experience for you as a corrections officer?
Actually being able to see some of the offender population out in the general public again. They'll recognize me off the streets. I'll hear, "Hey, Sarge," and I'll turn around, because before I became a recruiter, I was a sergeant, and I'll look around and be like, "How you doing?" And they'll tell me that they've been with their family, they've been with their kids, they got a good job, and that's just something to see that maybe I had some part of that, and it's a good feeling. Yeah, and that's got to be, and knowing that maybe you helped create a contributing member of society, and a positive contributing member, and to see that feedback, I think that has to feel good, knowing that maybe you had a hand in that. Yeah. You've been tuned into the Indiana State Police Roadshow, brought to you each and every week by the Indiana State Police Alliance and Cops for Kids, a subsidiary of the State Police Alliance. We've been talking with the Indiana Department of Corrections recruiter Tyler Sheeter about DOC's hiring event. They're always hiring. You can go to www.workforindiana.in.gov.
and search jobs, so not just for DOC, but for the state of Indiana as well. Many jobs available. Check them out. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next time.